First, let me just tip my hat to UCLA. They're a terrific offensive basketball team, as good of an offensive team as I've coached against at the collegiate level in 23 years. So my hat goes off to Steve Alford and obviously his son Bryce, who had a heck of a night. And they just move the ball and share the ball. They're very, very difficult to guard in transition and in half court. Thought we did a pretty good job in transition. They got a few of them, but our defense just wasn't good enough tonight. And look, there's a lot of people that play UCLA whose defense isn't good when you have the firepower that they have. So again, I tip my hat to them. I thought our guys battled and fought, but we just didn't have any answer for Bryce Alford, obviously. And they're a very difficult team to guard because they share the ball and they move the ball and they're very unselfish. So our offense was good enough. You know, we shot 89, scored 89 points. We got to the free throw line. Didn't shoot it as well as we're capable of. I thought offensively we were good enough, and we took care of the ball, but we didn't defend. And again, a lot of that credit goes to UCLA.
Okay, let's go with questions for student athletes, please.
Derek, can you speak from your perspective as to how difficult it is, the task Coach is talking about, defending UCLA?
Yeah, they do a great job of moving without the ball, moving the ball. And then when they get hot and we let them get going, there ain't nobody in the country that can really guard them. So they move the ball really well and they use screens well. So we can learn from that and try to put into our offense.
George, it was only a 6-point game at halftime. What do you think got away from you guys early in the second half? They were able to extend it to 20 pretty quickly.
Yeah, they came out and they started to play, their, UCLA basketball. Like Derek said, they did a good job of, pushing the pace, moving the ball. They made some shots. They got going, and, it was hard to stop them after that point.
Ted, what's it going to take to kind of pull out of this a little bit? Oh, I'm sorry.
Just keep asking for players.
George, what's it going to take to, you guys are right there. What's it going to take to kind of pull out of this little tailspin right now?
Just keep believing. Can't get your head down. And also amnesia. Can't go back in time and try to replay them. It's just about who you got next. And our next game is USC on Sunday. And we're going to prepare and do our best and get that W.
Derek, do you feel like you guys have learned from UCLA and Arizona going up against two really good teams and showing some good fight? Do you feel like you've got more confidence moving forward?
Yeah, they play two different styles of basketball, but we can just learn from each game, see what we did well, see what we lacked offense. So we just got to keep learning from each game and keep improving. And hope we get a streak here.
Derek, 0-4 start to conference play. What's the sense of urgency like right now?
We just got to take it one game at a time. We can't try to get 4 right away. We just got to focus on USC, try to beat them, get on a one-game winning streak.
Anything else for players? All right, players, you're dismissed. We'll go ahead.
To have to kind of follow up on what Derek said, those two teams play different styles of basketball, but you've got to be a little encouraged that you push both different styles. It seems like you're getting better every game.
Yeah, I do believe our team is getting better. I think we're doing some really good things. It's just, again, you play Arizona at Arizona, and then you get, the number 4 team. And I'm not sure there's 3 teams that are better offensively. This is the best offensive team in the country. And, they make 19 threes. It's hard to overcome that. And some of them were tough threes. A lot of them were deep threes. Some of them were well defended. A few of them were open. And that's what we have to just get rid of. We have to get rid of giving them easy baskets. And that was, the thought process, again, taking them out of transition. But in the second half, I tell you, Lonzo Ball got him going a few times. And, he made a play midway through the second half where he, sliced it and hit a guy, Hamilton, in the corner who had 3. That was kind of the one that I thought kind of stuck a dagger in us a little bit. I think he got him up 18 or 20, a big lead. But you can't trade baskets with UCLA, and if you can't put a string of stops together, you can't get back in those games, and we weren't able to do that tonight. So again, my hat goes off to UCLA. You know, as you guys know, I've been here for 7 years, and every time I'm in here after a loss, it's usually I'm pointing the finger at either myself or what we didn't do. And tonight it was as much about what UCLA did. And so there are times in life where you have to, again, tip your hat to your opponent, and they deserve to win. They were a better team than us tonight, and you know that's one of the things we talked about in the locker room is hopefully we can learn from them in terms of how they move the ball, how they move without the ball, how they screen. Because again, every offense really in America comes down to that, and so we are getting better. It's not showing up in the win column, and it's time for that to happen.
Do you worry about a loss of confidence at all?
I don't. But it's something I've got to be concerned with. I mean, that's why I'm trying to be positive with these guys. I mean, let's learn from our mistakes, but let's be positive and understand that you guys are capable basketball players. I think they all know that. But yeah, we can't have we've definitely lost some swagger. It's hard to have swagger when you're 0-4, but you can't lose your heart, you can't lose your determination, you can't lose your fight, and we haven't lost that, I promise you. So we may have, we may have been humbled. Let's put it that way, humbled. And again, conference is no joke, and winning isn't easy.
Coach, it seemed like on at least a decent amount of the 19 threes that they made were somewhat uncontested. I mean, how do you kind of adjust to a team that moves the ball that well?
Well, you have to be there on the catch. You have to do your work before your man catches the ball, and then we talked about when they catch it, have a high hand. And Alford hit a three there late, and we didn't have a high hand. I mean, so you have to execute whatever the game plan says you're supposed to do, because if you don't have your hands up, UCLA is going to make it more often than not. They've got great shooters. Even if you have your hand up, they can still make tough shots. But I thought we contested a few of them late, and a lot of it was getting through screens and not being there on the catch, and they made some tough ones.
Coach, what was the thought process of putting DeLeon in the starting lineup?
Yeah, just the coach's decision.
This conference always has so many talent, or often seems every year has talented freshmen that can carry a team. Where does Lonzo Ball stack up each of the guys that you've seen since you've been here?
Since I've been here, freshmen probably the best. I mean, that we had the kid, I forget his name, from Kansas, from Canada that was in here. He didn't play particularly well against us. Yeah, Wiggins. Terrific player, but he didn't play great against us in here. But Lonzo Ball's as good as there is. I mean, and if there's a better point guard in the country, I'd like to see him. We haven't seen the Fultz kid. We'll see him next week, but he's pretty special.
Opposite, UCLA's shots went in. It seemed like Colorado had a lot more shots rim out today.
Yeah.
But noticing it. Is there any explanation, any understanding of why that happened?
No, just look. Some nights the shots go in, some nights they don't. We shot the ball well enough, and we shot 54% in the second half. We got to the free throw line 38 times. You score 89 points in your own building, it should be good enough, but against UCLA it's not, with the way we defended UCLA tonight.
Tad, USC lost by 22 at Utah tonight. How big is that game for you guys on Sunday?
Big game. Big game. No question about it. And we've got to dig deep, find out what we're made of on Sunday at 6:30. Big game.
Anything else for Coach tonight?
Thank you.
Thank you.